fucks with you.
10 different ding ding dings.
Ah.
3.
We won't need a bunch of ding dings in here.
Maybe a ding dong.
Sorry,
Ding.
Sam.
Ding dong.
Sam, you don't have to
Ding,
predict
ding,
anything
ding, dong.
tonight,
The head's ringing.
but you might have to do some ding ding dings.
Sam's having bathroom dreams about me now. He's got the king of the day.
Yeah, that's a little scary, dude.
I mean, why would you bring it up in front of people? Like, he said it to you.
What? That
No,
I,
he did.
said it to you
He had the door
confidence.
open.
He said
He
it
wasn't
to
trying
you
to
in
say shit with
confidence.
confidence.
you think I get embarrassed very easy?
Yeah, the door open
Somebody
while
else
you're
said about me. I didn't dream about meeting him in the bathroom.
I don't think it's embarrassing for you. I think it's embarrassing for Sam.
Oh no, Sam!
You
I
don't give a
saw
shit.
I saw
Have
your
a dream
post.
about a guy that does a wrestling podcast?
Hell yeah.
That's
That's where we're at
embarrassing.
these days.
I saw your
Wrestling's
bathroom
cool
post,
again.
and that is way more PG than the bathroom
Yeah.
dreams that
I bet.
I think it's. I've like looked it up, and I think it's because apparently I have anxiety. Who'd have thought? But like, I constantly have dreams that like I'm going to the bathroom in front of people. Like I'll be like shitting like in like, and I'm like the only place to shit is like right in the middle of the restaurant, and like everyone's looking at me, but I like still really have to go.
Well, hey.
No shame. So you're the kind of guy that goes to Jack in the Box in the daylight. No shame.
Hey,
I said, I went to Jack in the Box. The fuck?
I wouldn't go to Jack in the Box in the daylight unless I had to shit.
I'd only go there to meet a prostitute. That's the only reason.
I mean, I'll buy her some
Jack in the Box
tacos
is
while
the
we're there.
Best place to meet
It's the low.
prostitutes?
No, it's
Can
just,
anybody
it's just
hear
the
each
lowest
other?
of the low
Yeah.
as far as
No.
That's
food
perfectly
goes.
okay.
Like it's supposed to be drunk food. Like if you're eating that
Whatever.
just to sustain your normal day to
Double
day.
quarter pounder with cheese.
I mean, this comes
No
from a
mustard,
guy.
sub sourdough, regular fries, 2 tacos, and a Sprite.
Bam!
This comes from a guy that was texting you guys eating hot dogs at a Sam's Club.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, I know you ain't talking.
Dude, they're really good, and it's $1.
They are cheap as
It's
fuck.
$1.40 for like a hot dog and a 32-ounce soda.
Okay, so
You can refill before you leave.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you put your stone over there, homie?
Yeah, I do feel shame whenever, because they check your purchases at Sam's Club because there's no bags, and then I do feel shame when I walk past the checker and I'm like, no, I wasn't here to shop. I was just here to eat in your dirty, dirty food court.
Now move along.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take the kids there. Everybody gets a hot dog, and then the kids can get ice cream, which is also 99 cents. And it's like $10 for like all of those.
Reese's bitches.
So speaking of hot dogs, have you guys ever gone a quick trip and built up a big ass fire hot dog and put that motherfucker in a big gulp cup and then only bought the drink and not the hot dog?
I have not, but I'm going to.
Hell yeah, dude.
God damn, that is
That's hot dog dedication.
pro stuff.
That's
Okay,
That's
wait.
low.
Hang on.
I used to.
So let me break it down for
I
you.
used to
Yeah,
buy
please.
Gatorades,
Talk
and
to
then
me like I'm a 5-year-old.
I realized that Quick Trip had Gatorade, so I would put
Oh, and the tap.
64-ounce Gatorades in there for 89 cents, which
So
would be easily $5 worth of Gatorade.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is what happens. You walk in
Right.
to the quick trip.
Check.
It's a convenience store. It's
Obviously,
popular.
yeah.
You go in. You go to the.
I think Jason burned one down a few years ago.
Hey. There was no record of me being at that quick trip. No record.
You broke Bill. You broke Bill. We're not even on here. We're live.
No, we're live. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, this is once again one of those times where if you don't come on beforehand, you miss this joke, and this is going to probably be the running joke all the fucking night. Quick
It took
trip.
me a full 20 seconds.
I apologize for bringing it up, everybody. I apologize for bringing up stealing hot dogs.
Michael Brown's told us in that.
Whoa!
Now he's actually speaking the
He
truth
really
over here.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
This is your boy.
Yeah. I am hooking him up tonight, so I guess by proxy he is my
Funny.
the fuck, man.
Wow.
That shit was just like,
You want to come over tonight? You want to do the John Wick 2?
yeah, because I'm not coming over. I'm going home.
Wow.
I'm gonna cry. We're gonna cry in the car.
That's my favorite part of that podcast.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I don't even want to know anything more about that. We're gonna let that shit just stay with Quick
Sam,
Trip.
you get my Venmo?
Quick Trip, if you're listening, I'm lying.
Check.
Never happened.
Check. I had a smoothie for breakfast. What you had?
I had a smoked jalapeno sausage. From
Jason, what you had?
I had Jack in the Box, number 6 large, curly fries, and
Murray,
large
what
Coke.
you had?
I had one of those fucking jalapeno things you were talking about.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God,
They're the best.
they're so good. They don't feel
It's
great
not a
later.
breakfast.
Yes, it is in the breakfast part.
No,
It's
Right
a
there,
breakfast
baby.
at
sauce.
Quick Trip, yes, you're right.
Breakfast of Champions.
I
See
did
there?
not put that one
45 years
in
old.
my big liter cup. I actually made it.
Plastic pop,
I think we're ready.
66 and a half.
For the ring the bell, I don't have the sound effect handy at the moment, so
Oh.
just pretend.
Oh my
I'll hit it and I'll add it later.
We don't really need it. Uh-oh. You have everything else?
Yeah, what, like the music and all that?
The intro and everything?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Shit, we can work around that. Make it happen, Captain.
All right, here we go.
Tonight on the BFR Ringside podcast, everything that happened in wrestling this week sucked. So we're going to have a free-for-brawl for
BFR Free-For-Brawl.
a free-for-brawl tonight on the BFR Ringside podcast.
And so it begins.
Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Marks, and welcome to the BFR Ringside podcast. As always, I am your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. King's Handing. And to my right, we have Two Beers, Zach Bowman. What's going on?
That actually plays into my thought process for the week, which is what's worse, WWE or Game of Thrones Season 8? I can't decide.
There's definitely one that's worse. And to his right, as always, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JC?
Oh, yeah. Let's pull down the book of Band for Ringside podcast so we can smack Two Beer Zach Pullman with it. Volume, yeah, right.
2 weeks in a row.
Well, you've earned it 2 weeks in a row. Episode 106, Chapter 3, Verse 14 of the Good Smart Say it, hashtag Boo the Heels. It is all good, baby. Shout out to my girl, Becky Balboa. I love you. In the free-for-all moments, I am ready to take on all questions, not withstanding any answers. I don't know. I'm just throwing some shit out
I
there.
tell you what,
It's a free
I'm about to be true belt Zach if I win these predictions again.
We don't even know who's winning. We don't even know who's winning. As far as I'm concerned, I should be winning.
Neither does WWE.
Yeah, good.
I'm pretty sure I'm on.
Nah, yeah.
And to his right, as always, we have Murray the Murray Man. Murray, what's going on, Murray Man?
I'm doing great. Not as caffeinated as last week. So we'll
He
see
doesn't
how
seem
this
all
goes.
shaky.
Yeah, not this time.
Tell us what's going on.
You know, we're live on social media.
We are.
We are. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, at BFR Pod, Band from Ringside Podcast, YouTube and Facebook, and Friends of BFR, if you're feeling frisky.
So we are coming at you from the exquisite Shock City Studios in beautiful, overcast St. Louis, Missouri. I know it seems like it's been raining here the entire time. Trust me, for us, it seems like it's been raining here the entire time. We don't leave here.
Yeah,
It's
no
great.
shit.
I don't
It
have to
gives
cut
you
my
all
own
the-
grass, so it's great.
But we got Sam the Mauler Ball turn the knobs tonight.
Mr. Perfect's in the house.
We're going to have a little bit of a different type of podcast tonight. Usually we go over some WWE, some NJPW, some AEW news, stuff like that. But really, there wasn't a whole lot this week that happened. Before we get too far into it, though, we're going to talk about that day one-ish sponsor, Soul Taco. Soul Taco, that delicious Korean Mexican fusion food that you never knew that you needed, but once you have it, you'll never go back. It is awesome. They have 2 food trucks driving around St. Louis, Missouri, a place in U City Loop, a place in Chesterfield, Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, Champaign, Illinois, 2 places in Chicago. Go get yourself some Soul Taco. Guys, we don't say it every week that we like it just because they're a sponsor, even though they're a sponsor, and even if we didn't like it, we'd still say it. But we actually like it. Go get yourself some Soul Taco. It is fucking awesome. They have those spicy pork burritos. They got those spicy pork quesadillas. They got the spicy pork tacos. Oh, and then they also have chicken, the beef, and the kimchi kimchi fries. What were you gonna say that?
Oh, beef bulgogi burrito, extra meat, all day, every
And
day.
it rhymes.
Double meat, fool.
Go get yourself some
Oh, you know,
shit.
double, huh?
We also have JJ Twigs on Southampton. That's a pizza place. The Blues are in the playoffs, guys. The Blues are in the conference
Third
finals.
Shit is lit.
Blues are in the conference finals. They have specials there at JJ Twigs on Southampton. They are a friend of the show. They are a sponsor of the show. Go hook them up. We have Schlafly beer. You guys know what Schlafly beer is. If you live around town, go get yourself some Schlafly beer. We'll be talking about F&B Eatery in a little bit. So what's going on this week is that we usually go through our 3 count, which is fun to do, and we do it every week, and we usually end up bitching a lot about WWE.
Well, and kind of like Vince, we usually come up with it just a few minutes before the show.
Because we're
Absolutely.
fucking geniuses.
Since we're professionals, we're geniuses.
But we can do it because there's only,
Giant grapefruit.
But this
two,
is
2,000 or 3,000 people listening to our show.
tonight. It's wild card night.
No.
Wild card night.
It's the BFR Free-For-Brawl.
Free-For-Brawl.
That's what this is.
I wanted to call it Lumberjack Pod. They wanted to call it Free-For-Brawl. Either way,
I wasn't consulted.
No.
you showed up late.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, you know what time the production meeting is.
So we're taking all questions. We're just going to talk about everything that's fun to us because we got tired of bitching about WWE. I think that I speak for everybody here in the room.
Yeah,
need to reset
I'm
that.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to
It's going to be more fun
Some
tonight.
of it.
And- So let's have some fun. So let's bring it to our Free-For-Brawl. Murray, what's number 1?
So we're going to go into some questions. We actually had a blast doing this the last time we did it. I'm going to start with, on Twitter, our boy M. Wallace Seals. He went with, I'm going to go with the whole thing he wrote because it's kind of goes with what we just said. I've got a question. What the fuck is Vince doing? Laughing my ass off. I'm tired of the WWE. So my question is, will AEW and Impact build a relationship? The women of Impact and the women of AEW can make something happen. And I haven't mentioned the men's roster. So, yeah.
Jason, what you got?
We'll go with the first part first. What the fuck is wrong with WWE? It is obviously a ongoing week-to-week thing where there is no long-term creative booking. We talked about that. There's no continuity from week to week. We talked about that. I think the biggest problem overall.
I like how we said we weren't going to bitch about WWE.
Well, I mean, you might as well get out the way. Might as well get out the way.
Let's just bitch about WWE.
Let's just get it out the way. I think the biggest problem is that they got a loaded roster, and you just can't get them all on TV. Ultimately, I think is the biggest problem. The AEW part of it, I think AEW and New Japan might be partnering up because now you have Chris Jericho going over to Japan to wrestle Okada at Dominion. So I'm not saying that Impact might not get their chance. I think Impact obviously has an amazing women's roster. So they might get a chance down the line. I don't know if this is going to be a long-term thing, but at least this goes back to what we kind of heard coming into this, where AEW and New Japan might be partners because obviously of the elite connection, so on and so forth. So let's just see what happens with that. But like I said, to me, the biggest problem with WWE is it's just way too much talent, not enough time to get them all.
Zach, you watch it. What do you think?
I would be hopeful for it. I don't know that it'll happen. I mean, I'm sure that AEW would rather have these connections, considering a lot of those guys came from Japan. But Impact has a great 2-hour weekly show. I actually make sure to not miss it. I watch their pay-per-views because it is a worthwhile time investment, unlike WWE, which is a time investment that you just feel mad about. WWE's biggest problem, like, what the fuck is Vince doing? Vince is just scrambling, and he's relying on the fact that he has hundreds of millions of dollars coming in for the next few years, and they're going to get bigger exposure Fox. He has no real plan as to make stars. Keep putting Roman Reigns in this position. And unfortunately for Roman, we had that little vignette. Like, I feel like the fans are just going to reject him again if they keep shoving him down our throats and putting him on both brands. It was unbelievable. Like,
In the middle of SmackDown, just to have a retrospective on Roman Reigns in the middle of SmackDown.
The shorter show.
I'll get to it. Go ahead.
Just real quick, they have no concept anymore of how to make stars. You know, Jason said the biggest problem is having a big roster and not having the time to feature them all, but they could feature these stars and book them appropriately. I think the biggest problem, and Jason would agree, is booking. You're doing this 50-50 bullshit. You're not making stars by doing 50-50. You have guys that have proven track records of drawing money. Andrade is proven as a star who draws money. And granted, it's been other promotions, and apparently you have to start over whenever you get WWE. But talking to Steve on Friends BFR, like Matt Riddle, and God forbid they bring him up, he is a 100% superstar. He oozes charisma.
No doubt.
He oozes charisma. Adam Cole is a top guy. Even guys that are already on the brand, Ricochet. You motherfuckers can't get Ricochet over.
No, they can't.
Like if you can't get Ricochet over, you have no fucking hope.
Can we take a timeout just because it's a Free-For-Brawl?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about that Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole match, because that Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole match on NXT was really something else. Like,
great.
It was damn near a takeover match. They gave him 18 minutes.
I was going to
or
say
something.
15, yeah.
And no commercial breaks, thankfully, because they don't have them.
No commercial breaks.
Yeah, and that gets me into the match. I know we're missing those slow parts, so to speak, but that gets me into the match because it tells the story.
Of course it does. Like when they had Ali versus Andrade, which was a match on SmackDown, a match
It was all commercial breaks.
a match that could steal any show that it was on. You know, depending on who's on it, depending on the matches that they have. But those are two guys that could steal any show that they were on.
Yep.
And then they bring it on, and then they go immediately in commercial break.
They did 2 commercial breaks during Kofi and Debray.
Come on.
2 commercial breaks.
It's so infuriating. It's so fucking stupid. But continue. I'm sorry, Jeff.
That's just my main thing. Like, the booking is terrible. They got to get away from this 50-50. They actually have to create stars. Wins and losses matter. This is where, AEW Mark, fucking.
They even had an event yet.
We don't know.
But based on what they're saying, that's what I was
going to say. Let's see what they do for Double or Nothing. Let's see what happens when they get the apparent TNT weekly television deal. Then we'll be able to kind of see and gauge how they're going to do their thing. So as it stands right now, we just don't know.
Just looking at existing promotions, though, like New Japan knows how to make stars. Okada, biggest star, best wrestler in the world, biggest star in the company, and you know what he did? He held a fucking championship for 500-something days. Like, longest title reign in history, and the dude's fucking amazing.
Jay White, by virtue of him holding the belt for a little while, and Jay
Made
White's
him a
really
star.
great. Jay White's really great, and Jay White might not be your favorite NJPW star. He might not be the best worker. He might not be the most charismatic guy. But just by virtue of him holding that belt for a little while, he's a star. And he's had great matches with other guys.
No, he got the rub.
Well,
no question.
and to get back to Benoit Seal's point, sorry, we got divergent bitching about WWE.
No,
but
I think this is kind of talking to this point.
Yeah.
The first question was, what the fuck's wrong with Vince?
Sorry, we hadn't gotten to the Impact portion. So, do you guys have anything to say about Vince before we jump into the Impact portion?
I do. I like Vince doing the wild card thing on Raw and SmackDown. Just really the funky Cole Medina, as it's called. Him saying, you know what, we're gonna bring out Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan just shows that he really doesn't understand what the problem is. Like, the problem is not that there's not enough stars on every night. The problem is that you can't make stars. The problem is you got a guy like Buddy Murphy, who was announced on SmackDown on WWE.com, who never got to cut a promo on the show. This is a guy that could be a game changer. This is a good-looking, cut-up dude that can fucking work.
He can work. He works New Japan style, man.
And he's got my favorite finisher, maybe of all time, next to the Stone Cold Stunner. This guy can fucking work. This guy can cut a promo. And the fact that his promo was on WWE.com and he hasn't been allowed to cut a promo on SmackDown, and instead Vince does a 5-minute career retrospective on Roman Reigns in the middle of SmackDown really shows, like, Vince does not get what the problem is. Like, the problem is not that you don't have enough stars. The problem is, like, you've got too many stars and you neglect most of them.
There's guys that are over, but then it goes, like you said, it goes back to the point I said maybe a week ago, and you just said tonight. I think they know how to get heat on people. They know how to build heels. They don't know how to build a baby face.
Maybe the best point you've ever made.
Okay, that's where I think the problem is that the baby faces seem so just generic and bland, and it's kind of like, you know, why would he say this? Why would he do it like this? It's nothing that would get us behind the baby face.
Why would you not put all of the effort into a Buddy Murphy versus Andrade match? Why would you not try to do it like the way NJPW does it, where the undercard matches, they don't have to necessarily steal a show. They don't have to go 40 minutes or 30 minutes, but they can still do 15 solid minutes of Buddy Murphy versus Andrade, or Ali versus Andrade, or Ali versus Buddy Murphy, or fucking any of these guys. Murphy.
I don't really care about the WWE part of the discussion. But the only thing I have to say about the other half of the question when it comes to the AEW Impact part of it, I don't really necessarily see them partnering up in any kind of way, but I also don't see them being at all in any way, shape, or form enemies. You know, they'll probably be closer to one another because of the level they're on.
Yeah, because, I mean, Impact shares, obviously, talent with other organizations, so I don't think that would necessarily be an issue.
Same with
I just don't, I just don't think it would be like ROH and New Japan have their partnership, and it's known, it's talked about. You know, it's not like it's anything that's hidden. I don't think they'll go that far, but don't think that they won't share some talent. Don't be surprised you see a Tessa Blanchard on an AEW show somewhere down the line.
They'll be allies of one another.
Yeah, because the biggest enemy ain't either one of them.
Right, and so they'll probably work with each other in some cases, obviously.
It's a boon for Impact to be a developmental for AEW.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. If you want the closer you can stay to them for the moment, the better. Because right now you're going to just get that rub because everybody's going to be looking.
You can tell Court Bauer from MLW is not mad about being in developmental for AEW. Like, he gave the Lucha Brothers a fucking beautiful send off. They're just assuming they're going, even though they're locked in a contract with Lucha.
I think there's some guys that think about it like that. I think there's other guys that are like, man, I'm out here, I'm on the road, I'm trying to do the best as I can, and I'll get in wherever I can fit in. But like,
no problem.
I don't think that a lot of them. I think that the goal used to be WWE. I'm not sure
anymore.
That's the goal anymore.
Not anymore. WWE is a goal, but I think now with everything, everything develops, everything changes. The landscape is changing.
I listened to a long interview with Hangman Page this week.
My dog.
And Hangman Page is 27 years old, and he talked about being recruited by WWE, and he said
that's the Rock's age when the Rock came up.
And he's like, yeah, they went really hard at me, and they were completely professional, and I don't have anything bad to say about them, but it excited me more that Hangman Page is in a different position than a lot of underground wrestlers, obviously, because
he's in a good spot where he could be in that store the first AEW champion.
But he said that they offered me a lot of money, and I decided that I wanted to be part of AEW, which would they might change the wrestling landscape.
It already has.
Yeah, it already has. Hopefully,
no, it already has.
Well, I mean, you're always so cynical about anything, about everything. I'm a little bit more cynical about AEW. I hope that it does. And after watching the last couple weeks worth of WWE television, I hope that on Thursday afternoons, before you come over and pick me up to go to the podcast, that I just get to fucking plow through some AEW instead of some fucking SmackDown,
patience,
so that we can get there. But that's.
There you go.
Next question. It comes from Motivated Incompetent Mags. Competent. Not competent.
What's up, Max?
After talking to JCB on why we watch about wrestling events he attended, which events do you wish you'd seen?
JCB out here doing guest appearances.
Didn't know that's on
Hey.
Didn't know that.
Everybody got a rub.
I can't even get the clearances.
Big star,
Yeah.
JCB.
No, I said you were the star. We were the talent. Thank you very much. One that I wish I would have been at. The one I said was the one on the pod. The interview itself was Bad Blood, where it was the very first Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. That was right when I was taking a break.
You were there, though.
No, I didn't. My dad and his girlfriend at the time were going to go, and they asked me if I wanted to go, and I hadn't watched WWE in a while. I wasn't really interested. It was one of the biggest hiatus I ever had from wrestling in general. And I was just like, no, I don't want to go. And then I ended up finding out that Monday that, all hell literally and figuratively breaks loose. And I was like, motherfucker. And from that point, I started to watch, and I've been back on since.
That was actually my answer. I saw this question earlier because we live in St. Louis and because that was the old deal. My parents were great. They bought me pay-per-views. I've said it before. Real gym, they would not do this for my kids based on the inflation and where we're at. But
House shows, baby.
Yeah, I know. They bought me pay-per-views. They would bring me to shows, and that was one that I was really sorry that I missed because it was right here. An amazing match, and it was transformative, for our generation. That was great. So that was my answer. I've been to some really good ones. I was talking with Jonathan Lemonade on the Friends of BFR. We were both at Owen Hart the night after at Raw, and that was my first live Raw.
Wow.
It had to be a bummer.
No wonder you got rid of that
As
word.
a kid, yeah. I mean, I was pretty young.
Like, you want to see some wrestling?
Yeah.
It's early seated. You like, I got fucked in that work. First wrestling show I ever saw, Owen Hart died. Ruined it forever.
Myself into a shoot.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, that's a great answer. That was my answer.
As a 39-year-old wrestling fan, nostalgia doesn't do much for me. I was at a bunch of shows that I wanted to see back in the day. Like, I saw Kurt Angle wrestle, who's my favorite wrestler of all time, with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's my other favorite wrestler of all time. I saw a dark match between Stone Cold and The Rock, where Stone Cold stunned The Rock, and he stood up, passed out, standing up, and Stone Cold stunned him again. Maybe my favorite thing I've ever seen in my life. If there was two things I've never seen in my life that I would want to, one of them would have been Okada versus Omega, one of the four.
Yeah.
Preferably 1 or 4, because those are my favorites. The other one would have been, and this might not be very cool, but it'd be Cena versus Punk at Money in the Bank.
No, Chicago, right?
In Chicago.
Oh, shit, yeah. I would totally be there.
In Chicago, I think it was 2011.
Sounds
right.
2011 or 2012. It might. Well, he got the pipe on promo in 2011, so it was probably Money in the Bank 2012. But that, to me, I've shown non-wrestling fans that match a bunch of times, just being high and drunk at my house. I've been like, I know you're hanging out, but I'll put this on and we're gonna watch this for 25 minutes.
So shut the fuck up.
And by the end of it, they all start marking out Jason. Our friend Jack.
Yeah.
Even Jack started marking out.
That's a hard sell.
Yeah, he's a hard sell, and it's one of those great matches. If I could be at any match, and that's not my favorite match of all time, but
no, it's
in Chicago, as if Punk loses, we riot Chicago type stuff. That was a fun match.
No, it was really fun.
I'm also a big I also like Lord What do you think?
So, almost very similar with you, the whole CM Punk loses, we riot. This isn't necessarily my favorite, and I'm sure I could pick 100 more, but it's the first one that keeps popping up in my head as I've been thinking about it. But if Cena wins, we riot. I think that was the second one, but One Night Stand, the first one.
RVD.
Yeah,
that was really good.
But the thing was, I think that was the second one because RVD was hurt the first.
Oh, yeah, some of those ECW shows have been amazing.
The one,
Yeah, but this is
where
the first
RVD
WWE
wins the title.
ECW. That was One Night Stand 2.
Okay.
That was the second year. So he won John Cena's title and then
Right.
turned it into the ECW
I didn't even
title.
think about ECW. Like, there's probably like 5 of those. But is that building, you know?
Oh, yeah,
between
dude.
that building and the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most energetic, like, shows.
Yeah,
of
I was
all
going
time.
to say that would definitely be one of the, I guess, bucket list places to go see live wrestling event for sure.
One of my other ones is I wish I was in attendance when Scott Steiner dropped the math. I'm not kidding. That's my favorite fucking thing in wrestling of all time.
Well,
Like,
I tell you what.
if I could get anything as a tattoo that was like a whole, like, if I could get a 2-minute
Dude,
video
that's
as a
going to be
tattoo-
like on your chest and on your
Oh, yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think it only costs like $150 on a Cameo, and you can get to do it.
Oh, yeah? It's not going to be the same, man. Like, I'm sure it could be almost as good. But
Now,
Like,
we just got to
so
give him a
it's-
couple drinks in it.
As soon as
loosen up.
oh yeah, painkiller.
Yeah, right?
As soon as he put up on Cameo, somebody requested a Standard Math, like, specific promo, and he did it. It's up there for free.
I made everybody at my work today watch that shit.
I totally want to see that shit now.
So yeah, the first One Night Stand, possibly the second One Night Stand, those just stand out to me a lot, and then the Steiner.
I've never had a one night stand. Really good.
I want to watch
That's
One Night
always
Stand while having a one
What
night
you
stand.
think it is?
Sometimes I just want a good story.
Remind me to
That's
say
exactly what you think.
No. See, we'll talk about it later.
I've turned into like a fucking 15-year stand at this point.
Next question. Call me Russ. Call me Russ Westbrook.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right, so Justin Simpson, I'm sorry. He said if you could only pick one American match, and to be your favorite top American match of all time in wrestling.
I thought about this all day.
That's never happened, or that has happened?
I thought about this all day because it's such a big question.
It is. It's really hard.
And like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Austin's at WrestleMania. My favorite WrestleMania match of all time. I would have a hard time watching one match forever anyway. It's an interesting question, but like, you're talking like American matches. I've seen some really great stuff in NXT, and the reason that I didn't include those is because the reasons why is if I did, it would be any of the Johnny Gargano Macho Chopper.
Absolutely.
That's so hard.
That's a tough question.
I'll say that the match that I've watched the most in the last 7 or 8 years has been Lesnar, Cena, Seth Rollins triple threat match at I think it was the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was a Rumble because it started off with Lesnar and Reigns at the start, and then that's when the cash. No, that was WrestleMania.
No, that's WrestleMania. No, I'm talking about when
it was legit.
It was
straight
scheduled.
up.
It was scheduled.
Triple
Cena,
threat.
Lesnar, Rollins. That's the match that I've watched the most in the last 12 years.
Real quick, talking about scheduling. Somebody did the math. It's perfect for like Reddit, like how hard they did the math. But somebody did the math based on WWE, what they have advertised at shows versus what has actually been delivered. They are less than 40% of what they've advertised versus what they've delivered.
Really? What do you mean?
So, say they go into a market and it's SmackDown, and they say, "Oh, we're gonna have."
Oh, that's how shows.
No, this is everything. Every show that they've done, televised or untelevised, less than 40%. So, more than 2 out of 3 times, you're getting disappointed, which is pretty indicative of the product at the moment. I don't want to hijack the match conversation, but you mentioned that, and I thought I should throw it out there.
Yeah, but like when you're asking me what's the only American match that I want, or what's the American match that I want to watch the most? That's really hard to say because
I'm over here just
that's
like
so
many.
many matches, and you know what? Brett versus Austin. I know you didn't say it for this one, but Brett's Canadian. Like that's not
But it
even
was in
match-
America.
But it was in America. That's the thing.
Okay, so is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I
Because
think that was the
because
reference of his question.
Because I would say Andrade versus Gargano is
That's a
one
great-
of the best
that's a great
matches I've
answer.
ever seen of all time.
That's a great answer.
Like literally one of the best 10 matches I've ever seen
I
of all
thought-
time. In fact, if you took the best 10 takeover matches of all time,
Okay, here you go.
And
Here you go.
listen,
We know
I-
takeover matches are great.
I want
We get
to
it.
I want to fight against recency bias though, and because I'm as guilty of recency bias as anybody else. But if you took the best 10 takeover matches of all time and compared them against the best 10 matches that you had ever seen in your college years or 20 years or whatever, Brett versus Austin, all that
They'd
shit.
all be better.
If you took away all the nostalgia, because nostalgia is for the weak. If you took away all the nostalgia and just went with the best 10 matches of all time, every single one of them would be from NXT TakeOver and or NJPW, either
If you're talking
Wrestle.
American,
Yeah, I was gonna say we just
If you're
talking
talking
American.
American, it's
Okay, just talking
We're just talking
American.
American.
Then all 10 would be from NXT
They're
TakeOver,
probably-
and there's not even a question about it.
There'd probably be a few ROH before those.
Yeah,
guys
that's
made
what I was
it to
gonna say.
NXT.
Yeah, come on.
Okay,
Say,
fine,
come on.
ROH, but do you think
Or
that Steve,
PWG.
do you think that Steve Austin, Bret Hart would be better than the best 10
Okay.
TakeOver matches?
Okay, all right.
They're
Let's
very different.
let's just let's just take
that's a cop
Taker.
out.
Let's just
That's
take
a cop
Taker.
out.
Let's just take Taker
Were
for
they
30
better?
seconds. Okay,
Can't take Taker. I'm ready.
you're gonna sit here and tell me
I knew we'd find an hour out of this.
you're gonna sit here and tell me
We're like 3 questions.
that yeah, okay, for the record, I'm gonna go with Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania, just for the fact that as much as I hate Hulk Hogan, the psychology of face Rock versus heel Hogan
Great man.
walking into the match became literally totally different about 10 minutes into the
same
match.
reason I picked Austin Hart, even though it happened again.
Right.
Same reason.
The psychology of the match supersedes anything. The match was not a 5-star, lockdown
I see
epic
what
match. The
No shit,
psychology
Doctor.
of the match superseded anything. So by the end, I was like, well, God damn, this is actually a really good fucking match. I was already hyped to begin with it because you had, icon versus icon, however you wanted to call it.
I
But
remember
just
exactly where I was. For
Just
that
for
match.
that, the
Exactly where I was.
psychology
And
of
I
it.
was
That's
hyped.
why I'm going to go with that.
loved it.
So let me get this straight.
All right.
So you're going to tell me that you would take
I'm not even sure you're going to disagree with what I said.
just. So what is your favorite Taker match between him and Triple H?
Taker Triple H 2 at WrestleMania.
So,
That's the,
so that match can't crack up on any of
WQ.
this top 10 that you're talking about with any takeover.
That would be close. Yeah,
It would be close.
I don't think so though. No, I don't think so.
I don't think it would touch the top 50.
I don't think so. I really don't.
Taker
Dude, there were
Taker versus Shawn Michaels, career versus streak. Does that get
Dude, the one you were at.
in? What I was at.
The one
Does
you were
that
at.
get into this top
That's
10?
my favorite main event.
Okay.
That's my favorite main roster match of all time.
Does that get in?
Taker Michaels 2.
Does that get into this top 10?
Sorry, I don't.
Wow.
Honestly,
Unfucking
But
believable.
I really don't think so.
Whenever you talk
You know why?
psychology, the psychology was very simple in that match. It was like back and forth. It was like my shit, your shit, my shit, your shit. It was not as in depth as too much.
Listen.
It was great.
Hey,
But-
Jason,
Go ahead.
I'm not really arguing with you. There's two reasons that I want to say that the takeover matches are better. One, the crowd's better, and the crowd adds to a match. No matter what you
No
think,
disagree.
no matter
No,
what,
I'm not going to
no
disagree
matter
with
what
that. I'm
anybody
not going to
says,
disagree.
the crowd adds to the match. And takeover crowds are insane. That's why I want to go next year. My brother-in-law lives down there. Let's take everybody from BFR down there. Okay.
Let's keep that in our pocket for a
The
little bit.
second thing being
Already got
is
that
my is my old Tony Hawk rule, right? Like Tony Hawk had to do a 720, and then everybody thought no way you could do a 720 or whatever it is. He always corrects me on it. But like
Every time, dude. Every time.
nobody,
Sorry, I was just-
but nobody even thought of doing that before Tony Hawk did. And once Tony Hawk did it, everybody was like, I guess I'll start doing this. And then everybody started doing it. So once Taker and HBK had this fucking spectacular match, And once all these ECW guys and once all these NJPW guys start doing this stuff, and then you get into the 2010s, where you have all these young guys that are influenced not just by WWE guys, but they're influenced by NJPW guys, ECW guys, all this shit, then they're able to do everything that all these guys do.
I'm not
Listen,
And they're healthy.
I'll just say this.
Every single takeover has 2 matches that are better than Taker and HBK. Every single one of them. It's not even close. It's not even close. You could take a Velveteen Dream match that you might have forgotten about from 12 months ago.
Oh, now he's had a couple of stakers the last couple of weeks. Okay, let's not.
Just depends on who's playing.
No, Matt Riddle against Matt Riddle is
not-
to get Matt Riddle over. Let's not act like and say that was better than Taker versus Shawn Michaels.
But the tag match really picked it up.
Okay,
I am not.
can we agree upon that?
Oh, I agree.
Okay, I was about to say, let's not
I'm
just
not
sit up there and
disagreeing.
throw that shit out there.
Jason Christopher. I'm not making an argument against.
Sorry, I'm Christopher.
I forgot your name. Forgot your name. Then.
I was like, what did I do? I didn't even say anything.
I forgot your name.
Yeah, right.
I'm not making an argument against the old guys. I'm just making an argument.
I'm not
for
saying that you are. I'm just saying that, and I am as guilty of this as well. Takeover is absolutely fucking amazing. I can't remember the last one that
nostalgia is for the
Now,
weak.
hey,
I'm not going to do that.
Can I interject on that one? I want to make a point on that statement.
Please.
Nostalgia's for the week. Get on ProWrestlingTees.com at the Band from Ringside tab. We sell 2 shirts that are based on nostalgia
That's true.
that you wear.
I'm wearing one right now.
I'm wearing the other one.
By the way,
Yeah,
they're on
yeah,
sale at
yeah.
ProWrestlingTees.com along with the kayfabe style one. He's so conveniently wearing tonight instead of the nostalgia
I
shirts.
love this shirt.
What's your favorite band? Oh, I bet it's nostalgic.
Uh-oh. We're going to try to think of a current band. We're going to try to think of a current band.
Arcade Courts, motherfucker.
I see the gears turn.
Right,
all
it's
time.
Arcade Courts. Arcade Courts is my favorite band.
I heard him say cord.
Yeah. So I do want to say, as far as this question is concerned, like, I don't necessarily say this is the best American match of all time, but if we go based on, like you guys kind of mentioned, who the matches we've like shown people to mark out on the most, I hate to admit it sometimes, but I still mark the fuck out to Angle versus Shane at, what was it, King of the Ring?
Oh, yo, when he's trying to throw him to the
Fucking
oh,
Yeah,
It was-
he's got it. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that, but that's basically like the the glass.
Jason, throw sand through that glass.
Yeah, right. And it'd be like, oh, he didn't make it. Oh well, throw through the glass again.
And then it happened again twice on the
He
way out.
broke his fucking tailbone through this shit.
I wish I had a picture of Sam's face.
All right, do we want to?
Yeah, let's get
We
going.
get a ding. Jason, tell us about it.
Epic Eatery on 3453 Southampton on the corner of Hampton and Marquette. Go check my boy Mike out. He is the king of the smash burgers, at least in this man's humble opinion. It is the best burger that you have never had. So do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Don't make me look bad. I can do that all on my own. Take your cell phone down to the corner of Marquette and Hampton, 3453. Be eating. Tell them JCB and Dan from the inside section.
What the fuck is that? Oh, the ding, ding, ding. Okay.
Yeah, I was getting ready
You
to
guys
say.
didn't catch that earlier?
No, when he
'cause he
did
said
it,
it in
it was
the
like
middle
the
of
Bozo
conversation.
horn. I was
Yeah.
thinking like Bozo the Clown Show back in the day.
Fucking Doink is here.
What's the next question, man?
So next question comes from Twitter. Our buddy Dog118.
Okay, I don't know. That's all I can do.
He wants to know when we're going to start talking about more indie wrestling.
I mean, like, we will start talking about more indie wrestling whenever indie wrestling.
Well, no, I was
Actually-
going to say, yeah, go ahead, because I know where your head's going. Go ahead.
If we had some more sponsors,
Uh-oh.
for some
See,
more studio
you-
time, we could fit in more.
See,
That's-
you was going there.
That's the main thing. But we do talk about Glory Pro, and Glory Pro is kind of our here in St. Louis. They're the premier. Like Dynamo does good, Anarchy does good. We have a lot of great indie wrestling.
But
But
we also have a great relationship with Glory Pro. We are sponsoring.
Well, yeah, we're probably
Yeah.
going to sponsor the June 2nd show. I didn't tell you that.
And
I
we
did get you.
got my
and we co-sponsor stuff with Blur Bro, like Finish Bonnie coming off Broadway, kind of tough.
Yeah, we did Eric Bischoff 83 weeks or whatever.
Plus, Zach and I, Jason and I have also been talking about, some of the future endeavors that we're going to try to play around with YouTube and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
we're really going to try to focus and hone in on a lot of the more
I was going to say,
stuff,
I was talking about, because I watch so much of it, just maybe do an hour show of just independent wrestling. And what I mean, independent wrestling, ROH, New Japan, so on and so forth. The times that we do talk about, motherfucker. You act like you don't work during the day. Shit, I was about to say, Jason works. Jason works at night.
I respond to everything.
You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'll respond to that, dumbass. Just on the independent wrestling thing, when it's time to talk about it, I think we talk about it.
I think that's a good question.
And Wrestle Kingdom, shit like that. We didn't get a chance to talk about Okada Sonata.
Yeah.
That just happened a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, last week. Yeah.
Up.
So, I mean,
there's
trust me, we talk about it. We just don't talk about it as much as
I think this question was like indie, like local stuff, like probably a local guy.
He's definitely at almost every show, but I think he's talking about the wide range of local.
Yeah, I would love to do that. It really is a financial and time constraint.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about just the local. For me, Glory Pro fits into my schedule perfectly. It is on a Sunday afternoon. I don't have shit to do on Sunday afternoons, where Anarchy and anything else is either Friday or Saturday night.
I'll say
I'm
this.
working on Friday,
When you're trying to do a weekly wrestling show, which is what Jason and I set out to do, before Zach was in the mix, before Murray was in the mix, Jason and I talked years ago about doing a wrestling podcast. And when you're trying to do a weekly wrestling show,
I make no
you ain't no
car
third
move.
wheel,
I
motherfucker.
can't say
Jump your
thanks for
ass
the
in
invite
this car.
because you got invited, motherfucker.
I knew I was the third wheel.
But I've
Nobody
known,
knew me.
but Jason and I have known each other for at least 10 years longer than anybody else in this room. Not that I love any of these guys less. I just love Jason the most.
I'll take a
If you
picture.
had said your wife earlier, I might have known you sooner.
She never wanted to hang out. What I'm saying is, when you're trying to do a weekly wrestling show, there is always content when you're talking about WWE. There is not necessarily always content when you're talking about local wrestling. Now, listen, I might sound like a WWE mark on here more so than these guys.
He's just trying to make it a pod.
But I love the local wrestling stuff more than anything. Like being in the room, watching guys wrestle, professional wrestle, fake fight, basically. That's always the best.
Dude, it's so fun. Like,
Some of the best times I've had at a Glory Pro show.
you are not going to you're not going to turn somebody on to wrestling by showing them Monday Night Raw.
But
they're going to be like, this is stupid. Because we love wrestling and we say, this is stupid. But you bring them to a fucking Anarchy show that has dollar Jello shots, and they're going to be a wrestling fan.
And the pizzas.
yeah,
and
and
everything.
you can bring your kids there too. And
That- That's what
They
it
love
is.
Jello shots.
I want to bring my nephews with me, and I want to have a good time. So we love independent wrestling here. At
Okay,
BFR.
let's go like this.
There's not any question about it, though. What I'm saying is that it doesn't really make for a good pod if you have to fill up an hour worth of wrestling.
Yeah, because it would only just
Per week.
Yeah, because it only defines yourself to this. Dog, come find us at the January 2nd show. Come find us. We'll be somewhere. Yeah, we'll be somewhere.
He's the guy who looks like Gary Payton.
Yeah, I'm the black guy in the room. Come find us. Get yourself a shirt, man.
Just
I didn't say you're the black guy.
find the black guy
You
in
don't
the
look
free
like
Matt
Lenny
Damon.
Kravitz.
You're like a
You look
white
like-
version of Gary Payton.
Ain't this a bitch? I speak like a white version of Gary Payton, man. Shit.
I don't even know who Gary Payton is.
I know, you really
It's
have
the glove.
I have
you don't
no
follow sports at
frame
all.
of reference.
Just look for the black guy in the three Matt Damons. He'll be out there hanging out.
Next question.
I'm an athlete.
I look like Zach Brown. And
No, he is more of an athlete. Bill is more an athlete.
Anyway, so another one from oh my god, fuck me.
Yeah, about 10 minutes left.
All right, so another one from M. Wallace Seals. Is that good? All right.
Yeah.
So
10 minutes. Boss said we got 10 more minutes.
so he asked is Cody's promo from a week ago top 3 promo of all time? Because to me, it might be better than Punk's pipe bomb.
It's hard to say it's the top 3 promo of all time. It
I
was
agree.
a great promo.
We all like to avoid recency bias. It's promo of the year right now for me.
It's absolutely the best promo that's been.
I think the promo of the year for this year right now is either that or Daniel Bryan's promo on WWE.com after winning the.
Oh,
Stop
oh,
it.
dude,
Stop it.
Dude, that
Did you
shit was
watch
great.
it?
Fuck yeah.
Did
Stop.
you watch it?
Fuck yeah.
Oh
Stop.
God!
Talking about the
That
leather
was
on
good,
his
but it
shoulder,
wasn't
and
like-
the tag team.
Did you
division.
guys watch it?
I don't think
Yeah,
it was.
I
I don't think it was the
I
greatest
only
of the
watched
year.
WWE on YouTube. Of course, I watched it.
But
Okay.
I agree that it was an amazing because he was trying to
It wasn't the
Try
same.
to bring up the
what's he
tag
trying to do? What's he
bring
trying
up
to
the
do?
tag division.
Okay, name the tag teams
I
on
get it.
SmackDown
I
right
get it.
now.
No,
It's
awesome.
them, the tag team
Oh, you didn't
champions,
listen to
which
it.
didn't exist until just
Oh, you
now.
didn't?
Yeah.
And Heavy Machinery. Those are the only ones.
Okay,
And everybody
that's
from
my
Raw.
point.
Only one.
No.
That's my point.
You like the colognes?
Hold on.
Okay, you can't talk about a
They
tag
didn't
team.
listen. They didn't listen.
You can't talk about a tag team revolution when you already have kind of pushed Heavy Machinery to the side. You don't have. You put
That's kinda
these
his
two
point,
guys
though.
together.
That was exactly.
That was kind of the point.
It's
of
because
the
he's
promo.
the mouthpiece right now for Vince,
Hold
and
on.
he does a really good job of
want,
covering it up.
I don't want to take away from Wallace Seal's question, but the way that you guys are talking about this makes it sound to me like you guys didn't actually listen to the promo. Like the promo was actually cutting down Vince and the WWE's treatment of the tag team division just as much as Cody was taking down the Attitude Era the same way.
Okay.
I get it.
It was approached
Go,
very
go
similar.
ahead, Zach, because I think I know what you're going to say. But
I'm
go
not
ahead
sure
and say
you
it.
guys
I
listen
get
to
it,
it.
but it's only because Vince realizes that the tag team division sucks, so he puts Daniel Bryan out there to say that it sucks, thinking that somehow
Oh, you think Vince had anything to do with that Daniel Bryan promo?
Vince has everything to do with everything
No.
that goes on that show.
That's
Okay. Let's say for the sake
That's
of argument.
crazy
Let's say
to
for
me.
the sake of argument he didn't. Let's say for the sake of argument he didn't have anything to do with it.
all right. I'm with you.
Do you, in your honest opinion, as the general state of WWE booking right now, you think that you can start that Vince and this creative staff can get Heavy Machinery over?
No, but
Okay,
But
that's all I'm saying.
But what's
That's
that,
all I'm saying.
What does that have to do with the promo, though?
The promo means nothing to him. It's a great promo, but it has no teeth. It's like trying to bite on a motherfucking steak when you ain't got no teeth. You can gum the shit out that motherfucker. Guess what you ain't gonna do? Get the prime rib that you want. You might as well get a filet mignon at this point. The problem is, and it has nothing to do with what the general
What does that
state.
have to do with the promo?
The promo is great, but it just sounds like a bunch of words. It has nothing to do. It's like Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe cuts a great promo, but when he goes out to the ring, guess what he does? L after L after L after L, and then sooner or later, you stop listening to Samoa Joe.
Just to be clear,
We are some WWE crackheads.
James. Just to be clear,
You can call me dad.
James. So the only way that a promo can have any teeth is if something happens after it.
We're not talking. This is not promo of the year because it's not even.
I just said
It's
it
not.
was in the running. Like
It doesn't even need to
I
be in
liked
the
it.
running.
I
It
liked
needs to
it.
be way in the back.
Take
Take a number, get in line. Prove it to me first by putting
So-
some good tag
Says
team
the
matches
guy
on.
who's still wanking off the Rock promos from 2000.
When's the last time you heard me talk about a Rock promo in 2000? I'm not
You
saying.
didn't like it when Cody. You didn't like it when Cody.
Apparently.
Oh no, because he's talking about the Rock in general. He did not say this person.
I also like the
Like
Cody
it.
promo.
I know you
When's
are
the
not
last time
talking.
you jerked off
Oh,
to a Rock
here's
promo?
the guy that's over here. Don't let Kurt
When's
Angle
the
walk
last-
in this room. Don't let Kurt Angle walk in this room.
Of course I
You will be
jerk off
sucking
to
his
Kurt Angle.
plug with the quickness. So don't sit up here talking about lacking nostalgia
Way to go,
or the
Doc.
Rock promos or anything like that. Okay, know your role. Shut your mouth. Next question.
So
I jerked off to
in-
Kurt Angle promo.
in Wallace
Okay, so
Seals.
just sit.
I
Sit your ass over there.
I just
Nico.
want to say, in Wallace Seals, not because it's your fault, but you are no longer supposed to ask any questions. Because every one of them has turned into WWE again, and that
You
one
just made
didn't.
Daddy hit Mommy
So,
at the dinner table.
nothing against you,
And
buddy.
Wallace Seals.
But you're banned from ringside. So this should be a pretty quick one. 'Cause I know we got a
Yeah,
little bit
right.
of
One
time.
last one, then we gotta go.
Killer Cross versus Suzuki. Who goes over and why?
Oh,
Suzuki because he's a shooter.
Woo!
I'm not a cross guy.
oh, you're not a killer cross guy. Oh my god, dude.
I appreciate what he's been doing. Like he's one of the big four. He's one of the top four in Impact right now, and I appreciate what he's doing. Plus, he's like also doing like stuff.
Shut up. Are you serious right now?
Yeah, there you go. I know, right?
Yeah.
But Suzuki's a shooter, man, and you can say I need a girlfriend. I've only had a wife for so long.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But I don't know, boyfriend, whatever.
Oh!
By the way, that
I'll take
question was
Suzuki,
from
by the way.
55 on
Suzuki's a
Twitter.
shooter. Hold on.
I'll take Suzuki.
I'll
Suzuki's
take
the guy
Suzuki also.
I
would
want to
take
see
Suzuki all day.
anywhere.
I don't even watch a lot of
New.
I don't even watch a lot of New Japan, but I know enough about Suzuki that he would.
No, he's great about that.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, we know there's a ton of podcasts to listen to, so we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. There's some birthdays we got going on.
Hang on a second.
He almost said years.
Yeah, right. Is there a birthday we forgot last week, or you forgot last week? Uh-oh. You sure you don't want to redeem yourself real quick? The guy that makes you look good every week. Took him out for drinks on Saturday night for his birthday. The guy that makes you look good every week.
R.I.P.
Bogey.
Did you forget to give him a shout out for his birthday last
I
week?
said Bogey last week. I said happy birthday to Bites.
Then you might want to talk to this man.
Is he mad?
Y'all might want to go in.
We'll make it up to you.
Counseling.
We'll make it up to you, buddy.
Kiss and make up or something.
We got Tio Santana is 66. William / Steven Regal is 51.
Yeah.
Bill Kidman is 45.
Why is he Bill all of a sudden?
William Kidman.
Bob Roode is 42. Linche Dorado is 32. Kushida is 36. Glacier.
Woo!
Love Glacier.
Jericho gave his age.
You want to guess how old Glacier is?
That's Jericho.
62.
I'm gonna say
55. Oh, sorry. Is that what you're going to say? No. Dr. Death Steve Williams, 59.
hey, Brawl for All.
Vader.
Brawl.
Fall for Brawl.
Vader.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Would
Best
have
big
been
man.
64.
Whoa.
Zack Ryder's 34. Kevin Von Erich.
No, he's alive.
He's
He's the alive.
No, he's the alive one. He's the only one.
All right.
Like,
Kevin Von Erich.
That was like a
61.
16% chance.
Dude,
Hey,
have you
hey,
seen the
what?
Binaric Viceland?
That shit is brutal.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
And dang.
Oh, Rod Simmons.
Farouk
Margera.
is 61.
For the States in the house.
For Shock City Studios.
Check.
For Sam the Muller Mall. For
Check.
JJ Twigs.
Check.
For Soul Taco.
Check.
For F&B Eatery. For
Check.
Schlafly Beer.
Check.
For Murray the Murray Man Murray.
Thanks
for
for the question,
Two
Bert.
Beer
Check.
Zach Pullman. For Jason Cornelius Bell. I am Bill Baggy. And everybody, thank you for sending your questions. And boo the Heels!
Nostalgia.